first of all, I'm going to have a go at these. So I got these off a friend at my local club about 6 months ago or so, and cleaned them up, put them together, put them on a Necromunda bases with the intention of actually really just using them in Necromunda, but I never got round to doing anything with them. And I'm in two minds as to what to do. I've recently rewatched all of the Angels of Death series, and oh god, that series is so good, so good. And I am so tempted to monochrome these. I mean, I've done them in Mechanicum Standard to start off with, and then Grey Seer over the top, and then I hit them again with a white primer. I think Colourforge white, if I remember right. I don't really use white primer that often these days anymore. I honestly am good at the Games Workshop's got rid of Corax white. It's my favourite primer, especially for doing Zenithal stuff, but you know, work with what you've got. But I am so tempted with these, so tempted to do them in the monochrome for Angel of Death. But there's a lot of the other schemes as well that I'm very, very, very tempted by, and I just don't know where to start. We'll see. I mean, if anybody's got any suggestions for a good scheme, then obviously let me know, because that would be awesome. I'm just going to move these out the way, and we're going to go through each of these boxes, I think, one at a time, because I have... Actually, we'll do this now. So another thing, moving on, coming back to Necromunda. Actually, Friday, I started painting these. So let's see if we can get a bit of a light on. Oh no, I can't. So I started painting these, and they came out quite nicely. Well, they are coming out quite nicely. I'm going to continue painting a little bit of them tonight, I think. But I mean, oh, look at that! It looks so good. Very simple, not messing about. I need to get them done for a game that I'm playing. I'm demoing Necromunda, and I thought, you know what? Let's try and get me Ashway stuff done, and do that. So it gets us through a little bit of me pile of stuff, my pile of undone stuff, and then the following day, on the Saturday, Tabletop says, "Oh, we're doing the spring challenge." I was like, well, I couldn't have come at a better time. So Ash Waste is going in. So that's my Ash Waste Nomads. Well, let's get those out the way. And this huge box of scenery as well. I'm going to do this. So you'll all have seen this before. It's just the Necromunda Ashway scenery. As you can see there, it's all been primed with lead belcher. It took 2 cans of lead belcher to do all of this, and I still ran out. I had to do one in Mechanicum Standard, or a couple of bits in Mechanicum Standard. 3 bits, I think, because one of the walkways you can see just down here. It's also been done in Mech Standard. But I'm going to do some base colours on it, give it some washes, some pigments, probably hit it with the airbrush a couple of times, pick out the details. I don't want to be spending a huge amount of time on it, but I do want it to look halfway decent for the demo and for future games as well. So that is a big project. Now the main one, let's see, is that... yeah, it is. That's the big one. The big one. So this is my main project, and this is what I want to get done between now and June. I've had these models a couple of years now. So I was a big fan of Relic Knights when it first came out. I didn't go in for the Kickstarter. I actually picked it up when on Tabletop did the Relic Knights week. And I thought, oh, that looks good. And I got some Star Nebula Corsairs and painted them up. Nobody was interested, and the game just went away. Second edition, it got some interest in my club, but it just, again, it just never took off because the Kickstarter took forever to get anywhere. Nobody got that gear. It wasn't out in shops, and by the time anything was actually ready to be released, nobody cared, as happens fairly often with Kickstarter things, I find. But I loved the first edition, absolutely loved it. Loved the aesthetic, the game system. I loved the activation sequence, how you used to have to plan where your things were going to go in terms of your where in the activation sequence it was going to be, and blah blah blah. Well, you know what? I'm going to play first edition because I think they ruined it with second. I think it was a really bad move, really bad idea to remove that from it, and I want to play first edition, so I'm going to do first edition, and I've collected this, which is actually the vast majority of the first edition releases for all of the factions. I think I'm very, very low on doctrine. I don't have much doctrine, only a couple of units, but I have a ton of everything else. I've got pretty much everything for the No Empire, pretty much everything for Circe, Speed Circuit, Black Diamond, and Star Nebula Corsairs. Actually, Star Nebula Corsairs I've got a lot, but it's the characters that I'm missing, like Moffat, Kanobo, Squall, Iron Chef. I haven't got a rust bucket for that, which is I'm devastated about. But what I'll do is I'll get some of this out on the table and we'll have a look at it. Alright, okay, let's have a look at the first little bunch. So I've decided to put the light on, just so you can have a look at this. And I'm going to go through each of them in sequence, and show you exactly what I've got, what I'm planning on doing as well. So with this one, I'm only missing, what am I missing? Beastmaster, Mamaroto, which is Warlord in a similar vein to him. Beastmaster for controlling these dudes. The Hatria Warriors, which are like a up-armored version of these dudes. The Berserker Warriors. You can see I've actually managed to finish 2 of these off, and I'm very chuffed with how they've came out. Very nice. Very, very nice. I was going to go non-metal metals, but I was like, no, that'll take far too long. And I need a Daehon as well. So I suppose there's 3 Mebies units that I need for this. Beastmaster, Mamaroto, Daehon. Beastmaster, Mamaroto, Daehon. Yeah, 3. And then that'll complete my collection. I've even got the, for the first edition anyway, we've even got the Rin Farah in a dark space mode as I can't remember the name of the lass from that mega show, Gurren Lagann. Yoko? Maybe it's Yoko. Yoko Littner. Yeah, Yoko Littner, I think. Anyway. Yeah, so her cosplay version for Yoko Littner. So I'm actually fair chunk through these. So, I mean, this is, I need to do some finishing off on these guys. Like, she needs all the highlights doing on most of her. I think the Serpent Priestess is actually done. Yeah, she's done. So I just need to do the red on their base. Dust these off actually because they've been sat in an open box, which is a bit stupid. And then we've got to do like base colors and stuff to do on this. I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward thing, especially with this guy. I'm going to do everything metals in metals. Like, I'm not messing about with non-metals for this. I want to get them done quick, but I want them to look good. So it's a lot of contrast, a lot of very easy highlights. I'm going to be using some dry brushing and some line highlights, and just pick out the details where they need to be. You know, spend a bit of time on some of the units just to make them look a bit mean. I think these look alright. These were mainly done again with contrast paint. Well, that's my new empire, and let's have a look at the next lot. Number 2, Black Diamond. These are great. These are the evil corporate dudes. I've only got one of their knights. Actually, no, I don't. I've got 2 because I've got her as well. And she is the let's get a dude out. There we go, Fritz. So I've got the Relic Knight and I've got the Questing Knight, Leopold Magnus. I've got the Iron Chef and his Snake from Metal Gear Solid 2 cosplay. 4-armed cat chef with carrot grenades. Awesome. I've got the Diamondback, the big mecha dude. That is, I mean, look at this. It is absolutely massive. What a model. What a model. Let's see if we can get a better. What a cracking model that is. It's absolutely huge. And look at the size of that bloody axe. I've got the missile launcher team, the support team. 2 squads of these dudes. 2 of the little mini tanks. A squad of black dragons. And got some spares. Now you'll notice she's the metal version of the pilot as well. I do have a spare, a second one, which I'm considering whether or not to keep, and so I can have both of them. One with the metal pilot, one with the plastic pilot. Haven't decided on that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I really haven't made my mind up. And I've got spares. So I bought most of this is a second-hand set. So I could get Sophia Drake because she is almost impossible to get hold of. I've yet to stick her in Dettol and get her stripped. And then I've got these as well. So I've got a second set of Suspect 7 because I've got a brand spanking new set that I opened up and cleaned up and put together. And they've come out really nicely. They just need to be painted up now. But these guys, I am not sure what to do with the spare Suspect 7 and the spare Black Dragons. They're easily fixable, you know, a bit of Dettol, strip off the paint. They're missing some of the handles on the side, which is a bit of a pain. I'm not overly happy about that, but you know, these things happen when you're buying second-hand models. It ain't the end of the world, so to speak, but I am not sure what to do with them. I really am not sure what to do with them. I may end up trading them for something or selling them on eBay, or might strip them and paint them up alongside this little lot. I have no idea at the moment. But the Black Dragons, I am really looking forward. I'm going to again do something quite simple. I think I might airbrush them, a mixture of greys, and then go in with purples and blues to give a bit of variety, and highlight them up from there. I want to keep it nice and quick. I don't want to be messing around too much. Again, keep the silvers, like the true metallic metals, just so I don't have to mess around with non-metallic stuff, and just to take it from there. Right, what is up next? Hi, right, okay, welcome back. So this is my Star Nebula Corsairs section. So with this I have, what do I have? I actually have 2 versions of everything, and I don't need 2 versions of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick overview of what's here, and then some of my thoughts. So there's an entire starter set, so that would be the Star Nebula Corsairs starter, like there is here. So that's this section here. So the 5 Bandit Corsairs, the broadside Captain Harker and his Esper avatar dude. I can't remember what you call him now. I've then got Calico, Kate and Scully, and in brand spanking NIB, we've got another broadside, another 5. She needs to be fixed. That's an easy job to do. There, but another 5 Corsairs. 2 broadsides. And then we've got Isabeau Durand in her Cowboy Bebop cosplay, and brand new in box. We've also got Calico Kate as a questing knight. I think it's a questing knight. I'm not sure if this was actually there was a card available for her. I don't actually have a card for the questing knight for a questing knight version of her, but I do have the miniature, and I'm assuming it's just a special run. Like it wasn't just part of the Kickstarter. Now, obviously, I've got double this. I haven't fixed up Wild Space Game and Flesh Reaper yet because I just haven't had the chance to. And Calico Kate and Scully, well, what do I do with all of this? So I don't need duplicates of everything. So I think what I might do is package this little lot as an eBay thing, and just start with the fresh, brand new stuff, because I like to work with. If I'm cleaning up a model, and starting from fresh, I do like to start with a fresh model. Like something that somebody else has put together can be a bit of a pain. I mean, he's put them together all right. I'm not sure I agree with this. Like, I think I would have preferred it on a flight stand, but you know, each to their own. I do like to start with a fresh model, so I am very tempted just to start with something new and get these on eBay or onto a site where I can get some exchange for them maybe. Now, of course, I think what I'll do is I'll end up keeping these guys because I don't have spares for these, so I need these. So I'll not be getting rid of them. And Isabeau Durand, because I actually cleaned her up and put it together on one of these lovely official bases, like the base toppers, the plastic base toppers that they did for the Kickstarter. I think I might actually keep her. So what will probably end up happening is I'll have a spring clear out of everything that you can see here, with the Dark Space Isabeau Durand included. So you'll get all of this stuff that's pre-built, acrylic, and the Dark Space Isabeau Durand, but not the BNIB, because I think I'm going to use those just to start off the faction from fresh, along with these little dudes as well. So I think that's where I'm going to go with the Star Nebula Corsairs. Who knows, I might put it in eBay, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, or maybe even, once I get Patreon sorted out, do a raffle for them, because Relic Knights is a game that you can't get hold of anymore, really. You can get hold of the second edition stuff, but it's difficult if you live outside the US, and the first edition stuff is like rocking horse poop at the moment, so it's difficult to get hold of anywhere. It's starting to run out in places. There's not a huge amount of demand, but it is starting to become scarce. There are certain units that I'm having trouble trying to source, so I'll have a think about this and obviously then update as I go. Hi, right, okay, video number 4, if I remember right, or section number 4. So this is my CSA Speed Circuit force. Now, as you can see, I did start these a while ago. I got quite far with Lug. Cracking model. Really big, really chunky, really anime in style, which is one of the main pulls for me. The ridiculous anime style of this game really, really spoke to me and made me think, yeah, I want to get some stuff of this. Like the pit crew are great. There's Betty with a big gun spanner wrench thing. The cracking model. But as you can see, I haven't really got very far with these, and I switched to painting the No Empire. I don't know why. I think it seemed like an easier place to start, and I really wanted to spend some time on these because this is one of my favourite factions. But unfortunately, just never got back to the point where I was ready to start painting them, and I've just realised I've lost one of the avatars. It's probably in the box somewhere. I've definitely got it. But here we've got Suicide Queen. Rollo appears to have gone missing. Oh, there he is. There's Rollo. A little Esper dog dude. Got Candy and Cola, just blue tacked onto the base. That's the cosplay version for this faction. She's dressed as Chun-Li from Street Fighter. We've got two Princess Malias, or as Relic Knights. Now, yes, I've got two of these. However, I'm thinking I'm probably going to keep both models because I also have the metal rider, the metal version of her. So I've got two plastic versions, so I'm probably going to just clean them both up, see which one works out better, and use that for gaming, and then the other one will be a pure display model. We've got Hell's Bells and 3 Pacers. Don't think I need 3 Pacers. I'm probably going to either give one away or trade it for something if I can. Maybe it's one of the units I don't have. Got Rin Farah in a normal guise. Big sniper rifle. She sits up on vantage points and makes sure that nobody's cheating. And she takes out anybody who's trying to influence the outcome of the games. 2 versions of Mr. Tom, obviously, for Princess Malia. And then we've got a Royal Wrecker down here. It's one of the recovery mechs for the races. Now, again, this is one of my favourite factions from the whole thing, and it's the one I am most excited to start playing, but it's probably going to be one of the last that I do. For the simple fact that I think the No Empire is going to be very, very quick and easy to finish off because I've only got a few models to finish painting. I think the Black Diamond will be the easiest to paint overall because it's grey, dark grey, black, a little bit of purple. So I think that'll be really, really straightforward, easy thing to do. I'm going to use the airbrush an awful lot on those. And these guys are a lot of colours, it's a lot of work, but I think it's going to be one of the most fun, and I'm kind of using this as a sort of treat for myself. So once I get to this point, I'm well into the stage where I'm ready to finish off. Right, this is an unusual set. So this is the spares or randoms, and I suppose I should actually get. Let's see. Dum 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 dum. Not yet. That was a bad idea. Right, we'll just put him to the side. Right, so this is the random section. So with this, this is all the bits that don't quite fit into a main faction or that I don't have enough to make a full faction for. So first of all, you've got the. I'll go through what we do have. So this is the Radiant faction, or what was available during the first edition, and it includes Candy and Cola in the Relic Knight form. So there's Candy, there's Cola, the 3-tailed fox with his little bottle of Coca-Cola, Candy on her gigantic mech with a huge sword. Brilliant model, this absolutely brilliant model. And we've got Cordelia Clean, the android made robot that gained sentience and became a warrior for the forces of good, the Radiant side. And then we've got the Void monstrosities. So there's Emilio, some sort of angel of darkness. Great model though. Again, the plastic on these is not brilliant. It's something akin to like the Restic material, which I am not a great fan of. Slightly soft on the details, not too soft. I mean, you know, once you put the primer on and you get them painted, they can look absolutely spectacular. But it's cleaning up that really I hate. The mold lines are prevalent and extremely difficult to clean up. It takes a lot of effort. I mean, it took me weeks and weeks and weeks to get all the ones that are assembled and especially assembled and primed. It took me weeks to get them done because, you know, after doing one or two of them, I just lost interest and was like, nah, put them away. And then a couple of days later, I'd be like, right, let's try again. And I'd do a unit, or I'd do a couple of characters, and then be like, nope, right, done. And it took me ages to get them done. I still need to clean up a few of them that have been assembled by other people before I got them. So, for example, this guy, Harboneth. I haven't finished this guy off yet. Lol. But I will do. I'll get these cleaned up and primed, ready. And I think that might be one of the first things that I get done. All of the models that are outstanding, get them cleaned up, get the bases done, get them primed, and then get them organised into painting groups. But these two are void. So the not a faction in the first edition, but they are like a underlying threat. The thing that's eating up galaxies. That the forces in Relic Knights are trying to save themselves from, and it's the lush models. I mean, I'm looking forward to making this one look very menacing. And the last bit would be all of my doctrine. So I don't have much doctrine. All the doctrine that I did have, I actually gave away to a family member because he really liked the look of them, and it gave me somebody else to play against as well. I actually gave him some Shattered Sword and Circe Speed Circuit, but most of the Doctrine stuff that I got, I've actually given to him. So these are just the spares, the extras that he already has, apart from Zeneda. I am loath to give him that because, well, like I said, some of these are difficult to get hold of, and he's already got all of these, but like, I don't know. Maybe I will give him it. But this is not enough to make a faction by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't think I'll be using Doctrine. But it'll be a nice painting project when I eventually get round to them. I am looking forward to doing Kisa and Scratch. So we'll see how they turn out. Oh. Right, okay, what have we got next? Shattered Sword. So this is all I've got for Shattered Sword. Nothing assembled yet. All brand new in box and all ready and rocking and raring to go. So the great thing about this is it gives me full Shattered Sword box set, which is brand spanking new. It's unopened yet. Hopefully there's no missing parts because they are difficult to get hold of. But if they are complete, then that gives me 2 units of Sword Sworn, because you get 1 unit in there as well. It gives me 2 units of Paragons, because you get a unit of these in here as well. It gives me Mallory. Can't remember his name. Francis Mallory. It gives you Francis Mallory and his Esper avatar. I've got Ostrician Yoga. Now I think Ostrician Yoga might actually go to the family member who's already got the Shattered Sword, because the box set for Ostrician Yoga comes with I think it comes with Isabeau, or is it the other one? There's a few different box sets, but he's twinned with somebody. I mean, these are Kickstarter rewards ones, so I'm not sure if I should keep him because I've got Isabeau. I don't know, but I've got a few models for Shattered Sword. There's some definite gaps in my forces for this. But the big one, Sebastian Cross. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely Relic Knight. Again, similar size to the other Relic Knights that you've seen, the ones on the huge like 80mm bases, with a 30mm base for his little Esper creature. And he's going to be a very fun model. Now I'm going to, with these, because the studio models were actually painted more the sort of, I don't think it's got any, oh, it doesn't show you the, it's got these ones on. Yeah, kind of a non-metally, which is nice. However, I quite like the stormtroopery look, the pure white, so I think I'm going to go with pure white, like the box art, with a very daring blue, probably contrast, probably Leviathan, not Leviathan. I can't remember the name of the blue that I want to do, but yeah. So that's my Shattered Sword. Right, okay. So what's next? Boost packs. So here you can see I've built 2 boost packs. Now I haven't put any texture on the base, and that is actually deliberate. Because these are just going to be objective markers, I'm going to paint the base some colour which differentiates them from the board and makes it obvious as to the fact that they're not part of any particular army. And acrylic might have been a better way to go. I don't know. Maybe I'll change that. I mean, I've glued them on now, so the chances of me prizing these off without damaging them is pretty slim. Well, I've got 2 sets fully built from the boost pack. I've got 2 spare boost packs that I haven't decided what I'm doing with. I've already given one away to what is going to be my regular opponent. But that means I've got 4 boost packs. Do I need 4 boost packs? Should I put these on clear acrylic, seeing as they're going to be part of the scenery? I didn't want to do that with the miniatures, the actual Relic Knight miniatures. I wanted them to have thematic bases, something that's themed to the army itself, so I didn't want to mess around too much with them. But should I do it for these, because they're going to be part of the scenery? And they should maybe blend in a bit more. I don't know. Maybe if somebody can pop something in the comment in, if you want to like to give me some sort of direction, what you think I maybe should do with these, that would be great. But these are going to be quite a fun little project. And let's see what's next. Right, what's this? Anybody who's followed Relic Knights for any amount of time will know that when they first did the Kickstarter, they did base toppers. Now you've seen some of them on some of the models that I've already put out here previously, but what you might not know, or what you don't know until this point, is that I have an absolute shed load of these models, of these base toppers, like far more than I actually need. I could, if I wanted to, put all of my factions on these bases and paint them up and be quite happy with them. But I don't want to do that. I want them to be themed, so I've already decided that the only 2 armies that are actually getting these bases are going to be my Black Diamond, which I think I've already pretty much put on those base types anyway, and my Star Nebula Corsairs. So the ones I've done for the Circe Speed Circuit that already have these bases on are going to be taken off. Those bases are going to be cleaned up and used for Star Nebula Corsairs, and I'm going to do something more racetracky for the Star Nebula Corsairs, because for the Circe Speed Circuit, because it's more thematic and more like, you know, fitting. Shattered Sword are going to get more temple-like looking bases. So these are completely spare. So I've got 7 of these. And I've got 7 of these. So these are the big bases. So it gives you the 40 mils, it gives you the 50 mils. So base top is for 40 mils, base top, well, these are the 40 mils, these are the 50 mils, these are for the 80 mils. It gives you a few of these, like Esper Crystal models. So, sorry, I'll do that again just in case. So these are for the 40s, these larger ones are for the 50s, that's the 80, and these are the Esper Crystals. Let's see if we can get that in focus. Not particularly. Yeah, there we go. That's better, isn't it? So yeah, what do I do with all this? So 7 spares of the big bases, 7 spares of the small bases. So these are for the 30 mil bases, and again you get some of these Esper Crystals. These are unopened as well. All of these are unopened. Not a single one's been opened up. I do have a load of spares here. How have I got all these spares? I think most of this actually comes from the Star Nebula Corsairs. I'll have to double check when I'm actually selling them and see what the person who wants them wants, whether or not they just want them supplied on the acrylic basis of these versions. Not necessarily the base topic. But what do I do with all the rest? I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to need all of this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't. So what do I do with it? Do I get shot of it? Does anybody need any? Like, would anybody like some? Drop me a message. Again, a comment. Put a comment down below if you have any ideas or if you're interested in any, because I am going to have a severely huge amount of spares of these because I'm never going to use all of them. Like I said, I have plans for the basing on most of it, and the vast majority of my forces are not going to need all of this. So yeah, so that's it for the Relic Knights section. Obviously we've looked at my Ash Waste stuff. We've looked at all of the Relic Knights stuff that's now being put back in its storage box, ready for when I get to it. One thing I've decided to add, which I'm going to have a look at now, is my Chaos Forces as well, because I didn't finish them off. So I'm going to stop this video here, and then we'll pick up once I've got my Chaos Forces arranged. Right, and welcome back. Okay, so there's 2 more items I'm going to put in for the moment. There is some Bot War stuff I want to look at, and Marvel Crisis Protocol. How many games do I play? This is ridiculous. Oh, and Adeptus Titanicus as well. Anyway, 40k for the moment. So what I'm going to be doing for my 40k army, because I've painted an awful lot. I mean, this is all the completed stuff, which is great. It allows me to play like a fairly decent sized game of 40k with what is like a substantially substantially a cultist force, without having too much in the way of normal Chaos Marine units. I mean, it's got one huge unit of 10 chosen, a dreadnought, and then a load of cultists, which is basically around the old Dark Vengeance set, along with like Greater Possessed and some other bits and bobs. So what I wanted to do is just show you what extra bits I bought to kind of fill this out. I'll start with these. So I've got one of them. So this is the first obliterator I did. He's actually finished, so he's done. Sorry, the light from the window is probably not the best to show this, and I'll get some proper video photos of these as well, so you can see them in more detail. But that's how I want them to look. That's how these 2 look at the minute. So I want to get these 2 finished up to the same standard as him, because otherwise they're going to look a bit poo, and I don't like that. We've got the Venom Crawler. Looking a bit dusty, to be honest. He's been out of his thing. I've lost that. So there, it's there. I can fix that easy enough. So as you can see, I've done these bespoke bases on pretty much everything. So I've built them up using cork, and then added like skulls and spikes from old like Chaos vehicle kits and marine helmets that are like just subsumed in there. It is like old wreckage. It's just meant to be like random bits of battlefield that they're strolling over. And the theme I've gone for is like a winter base to kind of contrast a little bit against the black and gold armor. So I've got this guy, Venom Crawler, that I really want to do. Got the two other parts of the mech. So I've got the Arch Machinator. I can't remember. I think that's what he is. Just a beautiful, beautiful model. He's an absolute beast. I have used it once in a game. Unfortunately, like this, which I hate doing. I hate putting unpainted gear or half-painted gear on the board, but I just wanted to try him out, and he's a monster. I haven't played 40k using this guy since because I wanted to get him finished off. Demon Engine. Had to get one of these to make my army more viable. I've magnetized them so I can swap out the weapon options and magnetize the head. That took a bit of doing. Boop. So you can have different head options. I mean, obviously you can. It's one or the other. Like you can't mix and match, but it fits on quite nicely. Then got Harkon World Eater. Christmas present that still haven't got around to painting, but he's a lovely model. Need to get some raptors to maximise his efficiency, which will definitely be coming at some point. Chaos Land Raider to transport my Chosen. All the Terminators, if I decide not to teleport them in, but that seems unlikely. And also just for some heavy firepower. Now I do actually, I've got these, which I was very chuffed for, the long weapon things that Chaos do. So I put them on this, and I was quite pleased about that. And then I put the other ones on the back for the variety, but I couldn't find another two of these. So if anybody has any spare of these long ones, so I can make the las cannons match on either side, I would really appreciate that. If you could drop me a message, say how much you want for them, that would be brilliant. We've got 5 Terminators to accompany Chabadan. And Chabadan is almost done. I've still got quite a bit of the highlighting to do on him. I haven't done any of the purple, or any of the black. All the gold is done, and I'm just about finished with Drashnien. I think I'm actually done with Drashnien. I'm not 100% sure. Like, it came out all right. There's a little bit more I want to do, just to maybe just put a little bit of that yellow or an orangey colour fading into the sword, so it's like blue towards the edge. Oh, top's chipped. I'll have to fix that. The skulls are done. His face is done, apart from the red underlight that I'm going to do. So yeah, he's coming along quite nicely. Just need to finish him off. Greater Possessed, again, like the Obliterators, this is how I want them to look. This is the finished article. And this is how he looks at the minute. So I've got duplicates of each of the ones from Shadow Spear, if I remember right. I've got duplicates of each of these. So I've got 2 of each. I need to find a 5th decent looking Possessed model so I can run an actual unit of Possessed, since they got rid of the Greater Possessed, which I think is an absolute travesty. But yeah, I need to get him painted the same standard as him, and then another guy, so that I can run a legal unit of Possessed. Never ending. And then we've got 2 units of Chaos Marines, 2 units of 5. Now it's actually a 10-man unit from Shadow Spear, but with the changes in the Chaos Codex, I decided, because I like running lots of cultists, lots of mortal units with a few very elite units alongside like demon engines and some of the more unusual stuff. And I didn't like the idea of having to have, because I've got 40 cultists plus another 10, 20, I think 20 odd. Traitor Guard. Yes, Traitor Guard. And I've got the new commune, the Coven, to paint as well. So I wanted to use all this, but like I don't want to use that many Chaos Marines. Like I don't want that many Chaos Marines. It's ridiculous. Like why would I? Like I don't. The theme for my army is lots of colourists. So I was a bit annoyed, but I did have this unit. I just never thought that I was going to paint them up or ever use them because I didn't find much use for normal Chaos Marines. I like having that meat shield and then all my characters kind of hidden in amongst it and use them as delivery mechanisms alongside Chaos Spawn as well. And so what I decided to do is split this unit into 2 minimum size squads, have one close combat unit to follow up the close combat cultists, and one shooty unit to sit back with a shooty cultist unit. So I've got one big unit now of cultists, with one big unit of 19 guys with 2 heavy stubbers and 1 leader, and then the other unit of 19 has 2 flamers as well, and it works really well. Works really quite well, and having these 2 units here is like a stabilizing element, and just as a bit of like additional support, just to give them a bit of additional support when they get up close. But yeah, so this is my Chaos Marine army. Actually there's a Helldrake as well. I forgot to put him out. Damn. There's a Helldrake for that. So I'm going to put the Helldrake in, and the commune, the command cultists as well. So I need to put those out and on, and that's my 40k Chaos Marine army. Alright, last but not least, for the time being anyway, there might be more stuff added, as I alluded to earlier on. We also have Marvel Crisis Protocol and Bot War that I'd like to get done. And just thinking about it, I've also got a few units for Song of Ice and Fire that I wanted to add to my Lannisters. But let's not run before we can walk. So, oh yeah, and Strontium Dog. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look now just quickly. This is probably the quickest video because I'm just going to cover it in short detail. I mean, this is almost done. This is my Clone Trooper army. I do have some Separatist Alliance stuff as well, but this is my Clone Troopers. They're they're almost done. Like, I mean, I've got a lot of highlighting and stuff to do, especially on some of the main characters. I've done Obi-Wan's face. I mean, the light doesn't really help here, but the armor needs a few highlights on it. The robe obviously needs quite a bit done. We've got Clone Troopers here. I've used some of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper heads to give some of these Phase 1 clones some actual faces. I think it works really well. The vast majority are faceless, but I do like the fact that some of these have got this. I might actually use the helmets, like have them scattered, like shot and knackered a little bit. All the Phase 2s I've actually kept with the helmets on because I quite like the helmets. I've done some freehand for the Ahsoka battalion. It's looking quite good. I've just done the markings on him so far. I've highlighted up all the other ones. Just need to put the last few bits on. So I've done 2 501st squads. I'm probably going to get a second squad of these and do them as the 212th, because these are going to be 212, so I'm going to have like a half and half Anakin and Obi-Wan. Arc Troopers. I'm going to do them in the classic sort of like colours. They're coming along quite nicely as well. 1 Bark Speeder. Got a lot to do on that. I haven't even done the shading on this guy. Done the shading on everything else, as you can see. They're looking quite good. And then we've got the TX 138. 135, whatever it is, the big tank thing. Separatist Alliance, AAT. And this, you might be thinking, oh, have you done? You've stuck it together. Ah, you fool. Why haven't you done it in sub-assemblies? Well, this goes together quite nicely as a separate part. I think that's actually bringing you down. Can that come off? Yep, it comes off. And this kind of just falls apart. Take that off. And just kind of, there we go. So I've done it like this, so that, and I'm gonna, there we go. So that I can paint all of these bits separately. You can see the cat's off there. Oh. So I can paint all of these bits separately and then glue them all together in one piece, and do each of these bisections. So if this is like a proper modeling project, like an Airfix model or something. Now I've glued these probably the wrong side. I should have done them the other way so I could have had them actually glued in. But it'll work all right like this. It's probably going to be the vehicle that takes me the longest, and I'll probably spend a good couple of days on this one. It's such a nice model, and you can get it for exceptionally low price. I think I paid £25, brand spanking new for this one. They're great models. AMG have done a really good job of some of these. Well, I suppose it was probably put into development tool by Fantasy Flight when they still had it under their banner. But whoever's done it has done a great job. These plastic kits are absolutely wonderful. Great to put together. They look fantastic once they're built. And hopefully I'll do a good job of making them look good once they're painted. But yes, for the moment I'll leave it at that, because I know this is running into an exceptionally long video. And if you have any questions or comments about anything that I've put in this video, then obviously put a comment either on Beasts of War or on this video on YouTube. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I shall see you with my first update, which should be at the end of the week, towards the end of the week, with the Ash Waste Nomads, which I'm actually proceeding with at quite a pace. And look out for Workbench, and also this week we have a review of Flintlock as well, so that'll be going up on the site sometime very soon. Right, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.